I recorded like 4 hours of video just to realize that the little windows for the plugins and stuff, they weren't popping up. So I guess we're gonna start from scratch. Okay, so the first thing that I do is I organize color coding all of my tracks while I listen to the actual song. So in this case, since I've already done that yesterday, I already have everything color coded. So now next, my faders are at 0, but sometimes when all the faders are at 0, the main fader, this one, it starts clipping. So if it's red, like that, I automatically get all the tracks, highlight all the tracks, and just bring it down a little bit just to avoid clipping over here. But these tracks are pretty good with the headroom, so we don't got any clipping going on here. Maybe a little bit. So just to have a good volume on the master bus, I'm just gonna use a limiter just to avoid any clippings like this popping out. And yeah, so that's the first thing I do. While I listen to the raw tracks, I organize and color code my tracks. So okay, we're good. Now, I did everything yesterday. Hopefully I can touch base on a lot of things that I touched base on yesterday that I think are gonna help you. It's gonna suck because I thought I had a really good pointers. Hopefully all of that comes back as I go and redo the whole thing. So typically I always start with the drum set. Like some people start with the guitars, others prefer to work on their vocals. Maybe it's a little bit easier for them to do that. Me, if a track has drums, I always go for the drums first. So all my drum tracks they're gonna go inside a drum bus. So let me name it drums. So I'm gonna get all my drum tracks inside the drum bus. That way I can solo this, and I can see inside the drum bus where all my drum sounds are from a glance. So we don't need the room track. That's the last thing I add because that's mainly for ambience in the drum track. So this is not that important when you're balancing. Okay. Another thing I do is I lower the overheads because I want to see what the tones of my drums are doing. Let me turn up a little bit of because it's kind of low at the moment. So okay. Toms. Okay, I'm gonna put another group right here. These are gonna be toms, and I'm gonna put all my toms in there. And same way, like this bus is gonna tell me exactly where my toms are, so that I don't have to be looking through for track by track. Like if you put them in a group, at least in Reaper, it shows you the sound wave of where all the noises are. So for example, if I go here, I know I got toms there. So It's always good to compare with the overhead the positioning of the toms. So in this case, I noticed that the low toms are on the right side, and the high toms are on the left. So we're gonna do that. Oh, Jesus, I forgot. Okay, I already have a pre-pan from yesterday. I didn't realize that I didn't reset the panning on some tracks, so I'm gonna just reset that just so that you're following. Dang, bro, this sucks. I had a lot of stuff, like I had a lot of good stuff yesterday when I recorded it, but it's cool. The more you do it, the better practice. So okay, I already panned this, and it sort of follows the overhead. Okay, so that's that. As far as panning toms, try to look for the consistency with the overhead, and that's it for that. We are gonna go back to balancing the snare. So for the down snare, for the down mic snare, this, it might work in some songs. For the most part, this down mic, it's never too prominent. Like, it's not supposed to be too intrusive. So one thing to do, especially like if you're learning as you go, like the little things, go drastic on changes like that, and see what it does to your sound. And once you recognize what it actually does to your track, you can dial it in, looking for that sound. So in this case, I think that's good. I'm just looking for that little bite, the see, like it's very subtle. When you're learning, like, you don't want to do super obvious moves. You want something subtle. Because if you're focusing on major changes, by the time you finish your mix, it's never gonna sound good. Because every major change that you do is gonna be too prominent, and it's gonna give you a bad result. So in this case, we want this, which that could work. I don't particularly like that type of snare. It's like too loose of a snare. That's too tight of a snare, so we want a little bit of that, like from the down mic. You know, and you want some headroom at the end. You don't want to crank it all the way up. So if it's not enough, I'm gonna use an EQ here. I'm gonna high pass, because we don't really need the super low boomy frequencies, and I'm just gonna do an increase here on the top end, like that. Do you hear it? Okay, that's what we're looking for, right? So now that I did that, I can get that sound without boosting the fader so much, and that leaves me headroom right here. So there, now it's there, and the fader is at negative 7 dBs. Without it, with it. Without it, with it. Maybe I went overboard on this, so I'm just gonna bring it down and boost it here. I like that. I think that's good. Now, another thing that I do sometimes with snares, it depends on whether or not it's consistent. So let's just check. All right. So this is pretty good. It's not, it's solid enough, but I can still hear, like that's a low hit. Like even in the sound wave, like look, right here. This was sort of a soft hit. So in order to just solidify those soft hits, I'm gonna make another track here. I'm gonna name it snare. I'm gonna bring my 2 mics inside this track. And now, oh, I brought up the wrong one. Snare sample. Yeah, no, you're not supposed to be here. It's just this. Now, there's the ghost notes right here. Okay. So I'm gonna compress because sometimes those ghost notes, they get masked by everything else. You know what? Let's not do that. Let's keep going. Let's bring the overhead. Right now, let's just focus on balancing. Cymbals. Okay, maybe the toms are a little too loud. Okay, that's better. A little bit of ambience. That's natural reverb right there. Okay. I think that's good enough. We'll go into details of things after we do balancing. One important thing to check is you don't want clipping in your drum bus, okay? Just like you don't want clipping in your master bus, you don't want clipping on any of your buses. So pay attention to the meters. Okay, now we're gonna introduce the bass. Okay. Now the guitars are supposed to be left and right. We know that. And I put them inside another bus or track. This is gonna be named guitars. And I'm gonna get these 2 tracks inside this one. And now I can control both of them from one track. So drums, bass, and guitar. Oops. Now, rule of thumb when you're balancing, it's not supposed to be perfect from the get-go. What you want is to hear every single track across the board with enough detail. So you don't want this. The guitars are too loud, right? But it's masking some of the details from the drums, and for sure it's masking some of the top end on that bass. See? That like from the bass it's not there. So you don't want that. So balancing the tracks across the board so that you can hear details of every single track. That's what you look for at first. Afterwards, it might change. You might want to boost something. A different instrument might not be that important for the mix. So maybe if it gets masked, it doesn't matter. But at first, when you're first balancing, you want to make sure that every single track is audible enough with enough details to make decisions. So for now, I think that's good because I can still hear the bass. See that? I can hear the bass, and when I bring the guitars in, it's not super loud. So we're gonna leave that there. Okay. What's the other thing? I think the synths here. Again, I'm gonna put the synths in a bus. Synths. And I put everything in here. That way, instead of soloing every single channel, I could just solo that one bus and it'll give me the synth sounds. Like that. See that? And at the same time, I get a glance of where my synth work is actually happening. Again, you should be able to hear details of every single track. So like if I mute it, you should be able to hear the changes. Like if this is down here, and you mute it and unmute and nothing happens, that means your balances are off. So see, so I mute and unmute and I can see the changes happening, but at the same time I still hear the guitar, I still hear the bass, I still hear the drums. So that's a good rule of thumb when you're first balancing stuff. Okay, that's way too loud, clearly. So these guys, and you can solo them. It's like this is not doing much. This one is kind of overwhelming a little bit. There's that thing that it's not that one. That trying to find that one. Oh bro, I think it's this one. No, this one should be here though. Found it. So it's this guy. It's a little too loud. Okay, that's better. If I take off the synths, I hear the difference? I can still hear my drums. Okay, good.
It's just another.
Now, as far as vocals go, I always do that at the end because vocals are not playing from beginning to end. There's only the sections for the verse, the chorus, etc. that have vocals, so I don't really focus on vocals until the very end. So in this case, we're gonna make a group or a bus. We're gonna name it all Vox. I'm gonna put all my tracks of the voice here. Come on, okay, right here. And now I have a good glance of where my vocals are happening.
It's just another day. Picture on a wall, still fading a gray.
But I don't work on that until the very end. So we're gonna mute all the voices for now. And we're gonna continue with the instrumental, okay? That's too loud. Something like that. I think that's good for now. Again, we're looking for a balance throughout the whole tracks that we could hear clearly without whoa. See, now that explosion is ridiculously loud. So I'm gonna do the same thing with the FX. I'm gonna create another bus, FX, and I'm gonna move all these tracks into that one. So that's like, so like even my bus is clipping, you see that? And I know it's these two tracks, so let me bring these guys down. Okay. Okay, like it's still there, right? Like if I mute this and then I mute it, you should hear the change. Not drastically, but you should hear the change. There, it's there. I could hear it's there, even though it's not in your face, but I know it's there. So that's good balancing for now. This guitar is too loud for sure. And you know what, a little bit of annoying, so I'm just gonna pan it to the right for now. Another super loud explosion. Okay, maybe bring that one down. What is this doing? Okay. Okay, I think that's better. Yeah. Too loud? It was too loud? I got that one there. I'm gonna move this one to the left. Huh. But notice how when I pan left, it loses that edge. Do you hear that? Like it completely gets rid of one guitar. So to avoid that, I'm gonna bring this one to the other side, like that, just to balance things out in the stereo feel. Again, that's still there. If I mute it, I should be able to hear the difference. Okay, if we can hear the difference without every other track going crazy, then it's good balancing right there. Again, it's gonna change. At some point it will change, but what you want is to see the bigger picture where you can hear everything without being too intrusive or loud. We're back to the synths. I think we got a good thing going on here. The explosion works fine. It's not overwhelming, but it's there. It's still there. Now what happens here in this drop? There we go. That's another inconsistency. Let's find it. A little bit of panning. Let's bring these guys down. Now let's compare with the end of this section to transition to that drop. And that's what's going to give us the levels. I think that works for now. No vocals whatsoever, so. Crazy loud. Starting with this is a little too much. That's a big bass drop. We don't want that super loud either, because that's gonna conflict with master bus compression, EQ and stuff. So we want that tucked away. It's more for the feel, not so much for the audibleness of it, or the in your face clearly sound stuff. Like bass always lies to you, especially if you're on headphones like me. You don't want that much bass. Because when you have studio speakers, this sound is way louder than on headphones. So you want for it to barely be there when you're using headphones. Okay, there's a snare sample in that section. We're gonna bring it into the snare group. Notice how the snare sample is just in that section. I'm gonna take it out of the group. That just tells me that that section is supposed to have that more emphasis on the snare. So that's why they added a sample for that session specifically. Oop, too loud cymbals. What is this one doing? Notice how that section has a lot going on. That means you're gonna have to pick and choose which tracks you want to portray more than others. Definitely way too loud. All right, let's go back a little bit. Now this is not nearly as loud. So let me boost it up a little bit. That one too. Okay. Okay, now let's balance the voices now. Which will start from here.
Another day is just another day. Picture on a wall still fading a gray.
Okay, we got 4 playing at the same time.
It's just another.
So we gotta pick our lead ones.
It's just another day. Picture on a wall.
See now, to me that's too soft, so I'm gonna use this as the lead.
It's just another day.
It's clearer, stronger, more powerful. These are probably just for support.
It's day. Picture on a wall still fading a gray.
I have a little bit of a pan, 15%, 20% on these two.
It's just another day. Picture on a wall still fading a gray. Isolate and pray. It feels so fucking safe repeating same old cliche. Searching a pill and need to forget.
What?
I'm draining my body with every regret just to get a drug to keep myself function.
Okay, notice how these only play for a little bit. That means there's support as well.
Searching a pill and need.
So I'm gonna hard pan them.
Searching a pill and need to forget. I'm draining my body.
They get quiet.
With every regret just to get a drug to keep myself function.
But these guys keep going, so these are gonna be my mains.
Searching a pill and a drug to keep myself function. To run away from every mental disruption. From responsibilities.
Alright, let's go back to the beginning.
It's just another day.
I'm gonna create another track here, and I'm gonna call these my mains. And I'm gonna bring these
It's
voices
just another day.
inside that bus.
It's just another day. Picture on a wall still fading a gray.
I'm also gonna lift this up a little bit just to know that it's a bus. I typically do that with all of them, so like the drums, just a little bit, effects, guitars, just to create a little bit more of a focused visual organization. Synth.
It's just another day.
Notice how it clips, right? Did you see that?
It's just another day.
It was clipping right now. I think it was because the screams came in way too strong. So
it's just another day. Picture on a wall, still fading a gray.
Okay, since it's breathy,
it's just another day. Picture on a wall, still fading a gray. Isolate and pray.
I'm gonna squash the crap out of it because I want every single detail in the breathy singing to be there. Now I do have some I do own some Waves plugins, and those are typically the ones I use, but you could do this with any other plugins. It's the same thing. I just like the simplicity of this one, which is the SSL.
It's just another day.
Now when compressing, the same thing applies. Go drastic so you can see the change.
It's just another day.
To see what it does to your sound. But then as you dial it in, you don't want super drastic stuff in there. Drastic is just to see what it does to the sound.
It's just another day. It's just another day.
See that?
It's just another day.
You're never gonna use that, but you want to know what it does.
It's just another day.
So notice by the time that part, you can see the needle coming down as he goes with that. Okay, I want that to be on your face, so we're gonna need some good compression going, so that when he goes to the needles, it's still compressing at that stage.
It's just another day.
So we're gonna use maybe a long release.
It's just another day. It's just another day.
Yeah, maybe a little more.
It's just another day.
And what's without it?
It's just another day.
And I'm gonna try to match it.
It's just another day.
Something like that.
It's just another day. It's just another day.
Now if we do the attack, like if we do a fast attack, let's see what it sounds like.
It's just another day.
So I can see that especially in the day, that phrase gets squashed and then the gets louder.
It's just another
right there.
Day.
It's like
it's just another day.
The it's really in your face. I want that, but it's a little too much, so I'm probably gonna bring it down a little.
It's just another day.
And to avoid bringing that to be chopped down too much, I'm gonna use a little bit longer attack.
It's just another day.
That's better.
Picture on a wall, still fading a gray. Isolate and pray.
Right here. So for example,
isolate and pray.
When he says isolate, it's soft, and when he goes to pray, it's louder.
Isolate and pray.
But if we do the compression,
isolate and pray,
it's about the same volume. It's just the little details like that. Okay. So I know that it's when it's a breathy singer, there's always going to be some phrases that are going to be quieter than others, and you use compression to even out those loudness. Like the quiet stuff should come up a little, the louder stuff should come down a little, and you should have an even balance across the phrasings of the singer.
Isolate and pray.
Okay, so I think that works. I do notice that there's an S-ing problem.
Isolate and pray.
Which they might not sound like it on solo, but out of experience, I know that once every single frequency from the different instruments start to sound, that S-ing,
isolate and pray.
it's gonna be a problem. So I'm just gonna add a de-esser, and I'm gonna use the stuck one, and that's gonna go first. You don't want to compress your volume on your frequencies of a track and then put a de-esser, because that's gonna make the de-esser not work as optimal. So you want the de-essing first. Like, you want to get rid of those harsh frequencies first before you start compressing. So let's get rid of let's turn off the compressor for now, and let's work on the de-essing.
Isolate and pray.
And again, go drastic with it so that you know what it does to your sound.
Isolate and pray. Isolate and pray.
See, now it's the S is way too much, right? Like, it's way too much.
Picture on a wall still fading a gray. Isolate and pray.
But at least now you know what the effect is. For any plugin, when you go drastic on it, especially if you're learning, go drastic on it so that you can see what it's doing. So I know this is too much.
Picture on a wall still fading a gray.
Meters always lie to you. Like, the meter is there as a reference, but you should always be using your ears to hear the difference.
Picture on a wall still fading a gray. Isolate and pray.
I think that's good. Now we're gonna bring the compressor.
Picture on a wall still fading a gray. Isolate and pray. Isolate and pray. Isolate and pray. Isolate and pray.
See, I can even do more.
Isolate and pray. Isolate and pray.
You know what? I'm gonna do everything. I could do more. The ratio, I could compress the crap out of that, but a 4-to-1 is good. So I think that works better.
Isolate and pray.
So this one versus this one. This has nothing on it.
Isolate and pray.
That one's even nastier. You hear that?
Isolate and
With the de-essing.
isolate and pray.
Okay, maybe that's a little too much.
Isolate and pray. Isolate and isolate and pray. Isolate and isolate and pray. Isolate and pray.
Okay, I think that's good. Same thing here. We're gonna use the same. I just copy and paste because that's a good starting point, since it's pretty much the same vocal. It's close to the same vocal, so it should have close to the same outcome.
Isolate and pray. Picture on a wall still fading a gray.
Now all together.
Picture on a wall still fading a gray. Isolate and pray.
Without it.
Picture on a wall still fading a gray. Isolate and pray.
You can hear that S is too much. Now with it.
Picture on a wall still fading a gray. Isolate and pray.
That's a more control, and you could hear that when he says pray, like, it gets louder and it doesn't go away.
Picture on a wall still fading a gray. Isolate and pray.
That's very important, because I know once everything starts playing, the little details from that, they're gonna get masked by other things. So I think that's good. Let's continue.
Picture on a wall still fading a gray.
These guys,
Isolate and pray.
I know that they're supposed to be squashed because that's just for support. So I'm gonna do the same thing here.
Picture on a wall still fading a gray. Isolate and
I'm actually gonna do a fast attack.
Picture on a wall still fading a gray. Isolate and pray.
I think that's good. Copy and paste.
Picture on a wall still fading a gray.
And this has enough low end.
Picture on a wall still fading a gray.
So I'm gonna take off some low end from those support vocal tracks. And I'm gonna use this EQ just because I mean I like it because it's simple. The knobs help you hear the difference, and usually when you get a EQ with the graphs, you're focused too much on the graph and what it's doing, but what you want is to hear the difference. So on this one,
Picture on a wall, still faded and gray.
again, go drastic so you can hear what it's doing.
Picture on a wall, still faded and gray.
But dial it in.
Picture on a wall, still faded and gray.
So you can hear difference, but it shouldn't be crazy.
Picture on a wall,
I think that's
still
good.
faded and gray. Picture on a wall, still faded and gray. Isolate and pray. Pencil. Picture on a wall, still faded and gray. Isolate and pray.
Okay.
Eating same old cliche. Searching a pill and need to forget. I'm draining my body with.
Same thing with these guys. So I'm just gonna copy and paste. Let's see what it does. It's right here.
Searching a pill and need to forget.
A little too
I'm
much.
draining my body with every regret just to get. Searching a pill.
I'm gonna do a slower attack here because I want those poppings from the beginning, the transients from the beginning of the track.
Searching a pill and need to forget.
The band and forget, kick it. Like I want to hear that.
Searching a pill and need to forget. I'm draining my body with every regret just to get. Searching a pill and need to.
That band.
Searching a pill and need to forget. Searching a pill and need to forget. I'm draining my body with every regret just to get.
Okay. So it's just to enhance the beginning of those phrasings, because it's the same thing as the other vocals, but this is gonna enhance the beginning of the phrasings, and I'm gonna copy the same EQ, so it'll sound like this.
Searching a pill and need to forget. I'm draining my body with every regret just to get.
Without it, without the compressors.
Searching a pill and need to forget.
See, need to forget, like that phrasing. You can't even hear it without the compressors. Like it's there, but it doesn't accentuate.
Searching a pill and need to forget.
Forget.
Searching a pill and need to forget.
Now that explosive on the bam.
Searching a pill and.
Searching the bam.
Searching a pill and need to forget.
Now with the compression.
Searching a pill and need to forget.
That it's a little bit stronger.
Searching a pill and need to forget. I'm draining my body with every regret.
Now we're gonna bring it up.
Searching a pill and need to forget. I'm draining my body with every regret just to get a drug to keep myself function, to run away from every mental disruption. Broad responsibility.
Okay, those screams are too loud. So I'm gonna create another track. I'm gonna name him Screams. And we're gonna put these tracks in here. And we're gonna solo. And also we're gonna bring them down because it's too loud. So
Broad responsibilities created by the ones who try to keep me by the chains. Never in control, just like before. Give me another dose of poison in my back.
we got 4 tracks, so let's spread them out in the stereo field.
Broad responsibilities created by the ones who try to keep me by the chains. Never in control, just like before. Give me another dose of poison in my veins.
Now this sound pretty good. The volume on the phrasings are consistent, and they're just screams. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use another plugin. Actually, let's use a compressor. just to bring them all tight together. It's going to be stereo compressor.
From responsibilities created by the ones who try to keep me.
Whatever you're compressing, you should compensate with the gain.
From responsibilities created.
That way, when you take off turn off the plugin, you get somewhat the same volume.
From responsibilities created by the ones who try to keep me by the chains. Never.
Again, I'm looking for the beginning of those phrases to stand up.
From responsibilities created by the ones who try to keep me by the chains. Never in control, just like before. Give me another dose of poison in my veins. From responsibilities. From responsibilities created by the ones who try to keep me by the chains. Never in control, just like before. Give me another dose of poison in my veins.
Usually 4-to-1, it's a safe spot. You can't go wrong with 4-to-1. 2-to-1 is just to get things tighter when you got too many tracks. 2-to-1 is good. 4-to-1 is a safe spot. 10-to-1, I mean, you gotta really have to want to compress something. So 4-to-1 is always safe to use.
From responsibilities created.
Now that we compressed a little bit of everything just to put those voices together, there's a plugin that I like to use. It's called the Saturator, which is great.
From responsibilities created by.
Like, look at that. It just adds more edge and sharpness to any track. But that's too much.
From responsibilities created by the ones who try to keep me by the.
Like if this is boring right here.
Responsibilities created by the ones who try to keep me by the chains. Never in control, just like before. Give me.
A little more distortion maybe.
From responsibilities created by the ones who try to keep me by the chains. Never in control, just like before. Give me another dose of poison in my veins.
I think that works. So we're gonna leave it at that for now.
To run away from every mental disruption. From responsibilities.
Now these vocals are too loud.
Ability to forget. I'm draining my body.
I'm gonna put these guys in there too. I'm gonna put them inside the mains right there so that we have control with just one fader.
I'm draining my body with every regret just to get a drug to keep myself function, to run away from every mental disruption. From responsibilities created by the ones.
I think the screens are fine where they're at right now.
Never in control, just like before. Give me another dose of poison in my veins. Where is the answer to my prayer? I'm still on a road that leads nowhere. Where is the answer?
Now we got the choir section. We're gonna put them in a bus. And it's gonna be all in this track.
Where is the answer to my prayer? I'm still on a road that leads nowhere, taking leap of faith to find despair.
Okay, that's inconsistency. Leap of faith. That's really loud. So
Where is the answer?
Starts
to
off
my
soft,
prayer?
but then it gets loud here.
Taking leap of faith. Taking leap of faith to find despair.
That means I am for sure gonna need compression to bring up those super quiet frequencies. I mean super quiet phrases, and bring down the super loud phrases. But at first I want to see what they do. Whoops. Dang, I forgot to reset these guys too.
Taking leap of faith to find despair. Getting forgiveness not for me. Bury these ashes, let it be. I'm a prisoner of my own fear.
Okay, I know this.
Taking leap of faith to find despair.
These are support tracks. They're not really meant to be the main ones.
Taking leap of faith to find despair. Taking leap of faith to find despair. Taking leap of faith to find despair.
I like this one. It's really
Taking leap of faith to find despair.
it's really strong.
Taking leap of faith to find despair.
And I'm gonna pan these guys, and maybe use these two as my main.
Taking leap of faith to find despair. Taking leap of faith to find despair. Getting forgiveness not for me.
All right. So compressor. Actually, let's do EQ first. I want to get rid of the low end.
Taking leap of faith to find despair. Taking leap of faith to find despair.
And I noticed that the phrasing is not understood too much.
Taking leap of faith to find despair. Getting forgiveness not for me.
That's like super weak, man.
Getting forgiveness not.
So I'm gonna boost this around 3K with a big Q.
Getting forgiveness not for me. Buried the.
Again, go drastic to see what it does.
Getting forgiveness not for me. Bury these ashes, let it be. I'm a prisoner of my own fear.
Okay. I think that works. Now compression. Oh, come on, man.
Getting forgiveness not for me. Bury these ashes, let.
Now this one I am gonna use a 10-1 just because the phrasing is so weak. Like this phrasing is so weak.
Getting forgiveness not for me. Bury these ashes, let it be. I'm a prisoner.
And that's super loud, so
Getting forgiveness. Getting forgiveness not. Getting forgiveness.
so on that soft phrasing, I want to make sure that the compressor is not being engaged, because that's the phrase that I want to increase.
Getting forgiveness not for me. Getting forgiveness not for me. Bury these ashes, let it be. I'm a prisoner of my own fear. Getting forgiveness not for me. Bury these ashes, let it be. I'm a prisoner of my own fear.
Okay, I think that works. And so the other
Getting
one,
forgiveness not for me. Bury these ashes, let it be. I'm a prisoner of my own fear.
I'm gonna go back to the other compressor and I'm just gonna give it 5 dBs. So we got something like this.
Getting forgiveness not for me.
And these thick ones,
Getting forgiveness not for me. Bury these ashes, let.
same thing.
Getting forgiveness not for me.
I don't want that much movement, so I'm just gonna compress. I'm gonna squash them.
Forgiveness not for me. Bury the.
Okay,
Getting forgiveness not.
because they're just to support my main lead. So
Getting forgiveness not for me. Bury these ashes.
now with these guys,
Getting forgiveness not for me.
they're too soft. So I'm gonna use an EQ. I'm gonna high pass.
Getting forgiveness not for me. Bury these ashes, let it be. I'm a prisoner of my own fear.
I'm just gonna high pass the crap out of that to 300 hertz because they're gonna support the top end on the main.
Getting forgiveness not for me. Bury these ashes, let it be. I'm a prisoner of my own fear. Getting forgiveness not for me. Buried.
I'm gonna use the same compressor. I just want to see what it's doing.
Getting forgiveness not for me. Bury these ashes, let it be.
Okay, I think that works.
Getting forgiveness not for me. Bury these ashes, let it be. I'm a prisoner of my own fear. Getting forgiveness not. Where is the answer to my prayer? I'm still on a road that leads nowhere. Taking leap of faith.
I'm gonna use EQ on the low range vocals, and I'm gonna high pass them because I know I don't really need that much low energy. I need to leave space for the bass. So this is what we
Where
got.
is the answer to my prayer?
And I'm gonna add the saturator just to get that bite from this. That brittle, the bite from the top end, the ch.
Where is the answer to my prayer? I'm still on a road that leads nowhere. Taking leap of faith to find despair. Getting forgiveness not for me. Bury these ashes, let it be. I'm a prisoner.
Okay, I like that, but it's too much, obviously.
Where is the answer to my prayer? I'm still on a road that.
And I'm noticing that it's increasing the S-ing, so I'm gonna add a de-esser. And I'm gonna put it all the way to the top before the saturator, because I don't want for those S-ing frequencies to be saturating.
Where is the answer to?
Also, it's supposed to be stereo.
Where is the answer to my prayer? I'm still on a road that leads nowhere. Taking leap of faith to find despair.
That's without it.
Where is the answer to my prayer? Where is the answer to my prayer?
I'm more control S-ing. Now let's see what it sounds like in the context of the song.
Where is the answer to my prayer? I'm still on a road that leads nowhere. Taking leap of faith to find despair.
Now, just to show you the difference, it's small increments, but when we take off everything, this is what it sounds like.
Where is the answer to my prayer? I'm still on a road that leads nowhere. Taking leap of faith to find despair.
Now I'm gonna go adding stuff so you can hear the difference.
Where is the answer to my prayer? I'm still on a road that leads nowhere. Taking leap of faith to find despair. Getting forgiveness not for me. Bury these ashes, let it be. I'm a prisoner of my own fear.
So yeah, this is the cherry on top, the saturator. But we got rid of some of the frequencies that we don't really need. We emphasized some of the phrasings that we need with the compression, and now we got this.
Where is the answer to my prayer? I'm still on a road that leads nowhere. Taking leap of faith to find despair. Getting forgiveness not for
Okay, we're closer to the end.
to my prayer. I'm still on a.
Now, let's go back to the beginning. This is probably a little too much. Now for the bass, I'm not really a fan of that sound. So I'm gonna do EQ. I don't like the cardboard type of sound on the bass. So let me get rid of some of that. And we're gonna do a frequency sweep just to show you what I mean. Again, go drastic to see what it does to your sound. think it's this. Let me see what it does. A little too much. Filter. High pass to 70 hertz. We don't really need that much. And I'm gonna boost some of that top end. What does the top end sound like? A little too much. Okay, I think that's good. So without it, a little too muffled. Not enough top end on it. With it, nice. That's it sounds better. It sounds cleaner. Now let me compress. I want heavy compression on my bass. See, that's too much now. There's that popping sound. I don't really like it. But it for sure sounds different with the EQ on it. Okay, maybe that's too much top end. Okay. Okay, let's go back to how we first started balancing. Now we're gonna polish drums. Let's add compression to the snare. We're gonna go drastic just to see what it does. See, it creates this little snap. If we go with the slower attack, like the transients and the sound of the drums are so fast that a slow attack doesn't really work. Okay, that's a good snap. That kills our snap 100%, so we don't need this fast of an attack. So I think on 3, that snap, it's nice. Good. Now, again, drastic was just to see what it does to the sound, and then we dial it in. Without it, even the slower sounds come more alive with the compressor on. The ghost notes are more pronounced, and we get that snappiness from the snare. Now we can add an EQ, and I'm gonna bring the EQ before the compression just to see what it does. We don't need low frequencies here. Now let's say we wanted more body and beef, maybe 115 hertz. Drastic. That's too much, right? But at least we're looking at it and we see what it does. What about more crack? Frequency sweep. There, this is where that crack is, right? Okay, maybe just a little bit of more of a crack. Without it, now in the context of the drum set, more of a dead sound, no snappiness. Now with it, it's snappier. All right, cool. Small changes, right? Small changes. Now I'm gonna add a reverb. Center for Sound Design. This is a free reverb. You can find it on Google. It works for most things. We don't need early reflections, but I do want a long tail for the reverb. No delay because I want the reverb to smack right when the drum smacks. And I'm gonna cut some of the low frequencies. We don't need that much lows on the reverb. Okay, now we bring it in just a little bit to create a difference in the sound. 100% dead. You know what? I think that's too long, so I'm gonna shorten the time. That's good. In the context of the drums, notice how the sound, the volume of the snare comes more forward when you take off the reverb versus when you put it on. It softens the sound. It brings it a little bit down. Okay, and I like to use just a little bit of reverb on the snare track, and insert new track. I like to use another reverb outside of the snare track because that's gonna accentuate our reverb. So let's say we use the same one. Let's use the same one. We're gonna have all reverb, no dry signal. This is just gonna be 100% reverb, and we're gonna send our sound to that track like so. Now this is what we got, right? Now what happens if I solo the reverb and the snare and I slowly increase the reverb? Notice how the sound of the snare is 100% the same. So let's take off this reverb, right? And now it's the snare. That's just the sound of the snare by itself. The sound of the snare, when the reverb is outside the channel, the sound of the snare stays pretty much the same. Whereas if I were to take this reverb off and put the reverb in the track, it changes the sound a little bit. There's a difference. Like there's a big difference when you do reverb inside a track versus a reverb outside a track, because the reverb inside a track changes your sound way more than the reverb outside of it. So that's why I like to use two reverbs. One to change the sound of the snare for a little bit, and the other one just to enhance that tail. I don't like that it's clipping. We're gonna bring it down. Okay, now let's work on the toms. For the toms, let's do an EQ. Stereo, because we got all of them in there. We don't need super low end on this. And I'm gonna boost and try to find the frequencies that I don't like here. I think that's a little, that frequency, it's like if we notch that one out, it's gonna bring clarity to our toms. Obviously that's too much. Now we're gonna compress. Compressor, stereo. Same thing. That makes it snappy. So that's what we want. We want a little bit of snap from the toms so that they pierce through the mix better. Without it, it's a slight difference. And we're gonna send these toms to that reverb right there. You know, I might just do another reverb here. Let's use the one from Waves. Okay, now in the context of the drums. With that reverb. Now this reverb for some reason brings down the volume of whatever track you're using. Like if it's too loud, it'll bring it down. But it has a good reverb sound. Now if we wanted more room, we could boost the drum room. But that's good. Now for the kick, again, I'm looking for that snappiness. So let's do a compressor. Let's go drastic on it. And already you hear that snappiness when you go. I think that's good. Now let's bring it down. Without it. It's a little bit of a snap, but it's there. And let's do an EQ. And I'm gonna look for an annoying frequency. Huh, I actually like that frequency. I think I'm just gonna boost it. Drastic change, just to see what it does to the sound. Maybe a little more click. And the cherry on top, I always use reverbs on my kicks just to fatten the sound. No early reflections, just reverb, no delay. It's gonna be a short time. And I'm gonna cut down the top frequencies. I will mainly low frequencies. And now check this out. As I slowly bring it in, it'll thicken my kick. There. Without it, with it. It's not much, but trust me, it makes a huge difference when you bring it all together. I think for drums we're good. Last but not least, once you got all of this, we're gonna put a compressor on the drum bus just to get everything tight and close together. We're gonna go drastic on it, and then you'll see what it does. Also, it brings up snappiness, more snappiness from everything. Even though it's already snappy, it brings up even more snappiness to it. So on this case, we're gonna use 2-to-1 because I don't want that much compression. I just want for every single track to get put close together and tight. Without it, actually, let me increase just so that you can hear a better difference. Without the compressor, with it. That's too much, right? But you hear what it does. Like, it brings everything a little bit closer together. It enhances the reverb too. Like, it'll boost. It'll give a little bit of a boost to the reverb. Now that we know what it does, let's bring it back. Without it, with it. Okay. Nice. I like that snap on the drums. Now the guitars. Let's do an EQ. High pass. I don't need the boominess. We already have the bass for that. Maybe 113 hertz. I like that. We're gonna boost a little bit of that. And let's find a cardboard frequency in the guitar just to clean it up. Maybe this one. A little bit less of that. Without it, with it, it kind of lost a little bit of that body, of that beef, so I'm just gonna boost maybe 100 hertz. Without it, now let's see what the compressor does. Hopefully we can get something good out of it. Nothing much really. So I guess if it gives us a little bit of movement, then we'll take it. I think that kills it. So you know what? I don't think we're gonna use the compressor. See, now the drums don't sound good with the compressor on it, the drum bus, so I'm just gonna take it off. And I'm gonna send a ride to the burb, cymbals, whoops. So these are gonna go to the reverb. Oh man, I thought I could do it. I guess I gotta do one by one. What is this doing? You know what? I'm gonna do reverb on this. Same thing with this one. And I don't like the thickness on it, so I'm just going to do an EQ. And high pass it. Now as far as the synth goes, I'm going to do a reverb. I like that. It's gonna put a reverb on everything. For example, these guys. I like that. I'm gonna enhance this one. Alright, let's bring in the voices. Now the toms need more volume.
It's just another day. Picture on a wall, still fading a gray.
There's the reverb on this.
Isolate and pray. It's just another day. Picture on a wall, still fading a gray. Isolate and pray. It feels so fucking safe, repeating same old cliche. Searching a pill and need to forget. I'm draining my body with every regret just to get a drug to keep myself function, to run away from every mental disruption. Fraud responsibilities created by the ones who try to keep me.
Okay, at this point I'm just polishing, balancing, changing things again to make sure that we hear everything. But now it's enhancing a few things.
It's just another
So in this case, the vocals needs to be present. It needs to sound good, right? The synths are going to be supporting that. So
it feels so fucking safe, repeating same old cliche.
that guitar bugs me. I think it's this one. Okay, I'm gonna do EQ. And I'm gonna boost a little bit of mid-range, and I'm gonna reverb the crap out of it. Because it's too dry, and I feel like this supports with ambience of the track, so.
Fucking safe, repeating same old cliche.
Searching a pill and need to forget. I'm draining my body with every regret just to get a drug to keep myself function, to run away from every mental disruption.
Something's missing in that section.
Fucking safe, repeating
What's the synth doing?
cliche.
Right. Where's that bum 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 bum? I need more of this. I'm gonna enhance that. So let's do EQ, mono. Actually, that was stereo. I like that. High pass filter. We don't need the super low end on this. And you know what? We're gonna do this on the synth, and we're gonna high pass to 80 hertz. While being on it, I know the saturation is gonna make this sound way better, so I'm gonna put another saturator on it. Oh shoot, saturator goes before the reverb, or else it sounds like crap. Okay, yeah, it doesn't work. I got too much hiss, so I'm just gonna switch that to here. Get rid of that. And change this sound. Without it, okay, it's enhancing that top edge, the bite and top edge on it. So now if we do it with the vocals, and I'm gonna go and do another reverb on it. But on this one, I want early reflections. I don't want so much of the reverb. I want early reflections. Just to get it bigger and wider. I like that.
I try to keep myself function, to run away from every mental disruption. Wrong responsibilities created by the ones who try to keep me by the chains. Never in control. Just
Let's add a little bit of reverb, just a little bit on the screams.
wrong responsibilities created by the ones who try to keep me by the chains. Never in control. Just like me, forgive me.
A little bit of the early reflections just to create an echoey sensation.
Wrong responsibility.
And a little bit of the reverb, but it's gonna be a short reverb.
Wrong responsibilities created by the ones who try to keep me by the chains. Never in control.
Without it,
Wrong responsibilities created by the
With it.
ones who try to keep me by the chains. Never in control. Just like me, forgive me. Another dose of poison in my veins.
I feel like the explosions now need to be a little bit more on your face. That. And I'm just gonna use an EQ, regular EQ, to do that. Let's see now. That's better. A little more of the sub. That's better. Same thing here. I'm gonna do the same type of reverb on the choir,
Where is the answer to my prayer? I'm still on a road that leads nowhere, taking leap of faith to find despair, getting forgiveness not for me. Bury these ashes, let it be.
Maybe a little too much.
Prisoner of my own fear.
That's better.
Where is the answer to my prayer? I'm still on a road that leads nowhere, taking leap of faith to find despair, getting forgiveness not for me. Bury these ashes, let it be. I'm a prisoner of my own fear.
Oh wait, I'm doing it in the wrong one. Whoops. Where's that guitar? I'm switching the guitar reverb. My bad. Where are you? Okay, I think that's what it was. Jesus. Be careful, man.
So drive me down with the flame.
Not the choir. That's what we were working on.
Where is the answer to my prayer? I'm still on a road that leads nowhere, taking leap of faith to find despair, getting forgiveness not for me.
Maybe that's a little too much.
Bury these ashes, let it be. I'm a prisoner
Okay, that's
of
better.
my own fear. Cover my mind. Where is the answer to my prayer? I'm still on a road that leads nowhere, taking leap of faith to find despair, getting forgiveness not for me. Bury these ashes, let it be. I'm a prisoner of my own fear. Feeling heat in hell below. Let the seed of anger grow. The only thing I'll ever know.
Okay, now we gotta work on this breathy stuff. So I'm gonna change the color for these.
Heat in hell below. Let the seed of anger grow. The only thing I'll ever know. Heat in hell below. Let the seed of anger grow. The only thing I'll ever know.
So I think this is the main one.
Hell below.
I'm gonna put them inside a group. VBox. I'm just gonna name it like that. I'm gonna put these guys in here. And now we can control everything with one fader.
Heat in hell below. Let the seed of anger.
Again, I know that my breaths, they're always weak, so I'm gonna squash the crap out of them.
Heat in hell below. Let the seed of anger grow. The only thing.
Super fast attack, I want absolutely everything squashed.
Heat in hell below. Let the seed of anger grow. The only thing I'll ever know.
There we go. The same thing for the other one.
Heat in hell below. Let the seed of anger grow. The only thing I'll ever.
This one as well.
Heat in hell below. Let the seed of anger grow.
For this one, I'm gonna use a little lower attack though, because I want the phrasings and the poppings of the phrasings to be there.
Heat in hell below. Let the seed of anger grow. The only thing.
A faster release,
Heat in hell below.
just to help again the beginning of the phrasings, so it'll just create a little bit of a edge to it, and it'll bring down the compression faster.
Heat in hell below. Let the seed of anger grow. The only thing I'll ever know.
And for this one, I'm gonna use the same reverb, but the early reflections of it. So no reverb, just the early reflections.
Heat in a hell below. Let the seed of anger grow. The only thing I'll ever know. Heat in a hell below.
Now the reverb, I'm gonna do it with a big delay.
Heat in a hell below. Let the seed of anger grow. The only thing I'll ever know.
Something like that.
Heat in a hell below. Let the seed of anger grow. The only thing I'll ever know.
It's like a delay almost, right?
Heat in a hell below. Heat in a hell below. Let the seed of anger grow. The only thing I'll ever know.
On this one, I think I'm just gonna use a saturator to create distortion.
Hell below. Hell below.
Something like that.
Anger crow.
Just to support.
Ever know. Heat in a hell below. Let the seed of anger grow. The only thing I'll ever know.
And I'm gonna do an EQ. I want to get rid of the low frequencies, so I'm gonna high pass the crap out of it.
Heat in a hell below. Let the seed of anger grow. The only thing I'll ever know.
I think that reverb delay is conflicting with it too much, so I'm just gonna make it short.
Heat in a hell below.
Like that.
Let the seed of anger grow. The only
Now, with this,
heat in a hell below. Let the seed of anger grow.
we're gonna do a reverb from the waves.
Heat in a hell below.
No early reflections though.
Let the seed of anger grow. The only thing I'll ever know. Heat in a hell below. Let the seed of anger grow. The only thing I'll ever know. Heat in a hell below. Let the seed of anger grow. The only thing I'll ever know.
Okay, I think that works, man. Let's see.
Of my own fear.
Feeling heat in a hell below. Let the seed of anger grow. The only thing I'll ever know. I'm a prisoner.
Ooh. This one, what's this one doing?
I'm a prisoner.
Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing as the distortion.
I'm a prisoner. I'm a prisoner. I'm a prisoner. I'm a prisoner.
And I'm gonna make it to the left.
Prisoner.
And I'm gonna add delay to it. Sound, this is also free.
Prisoner. I'm a 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 prisoner.
We're gonna cut off the frequency.
I'm a prisoner.
Of the high.
I'm a prisoner.
Yeah, there we go. So we're creating a delay with the high frequencies
I'm a prisoner.
just to create that little effect.
I'm
just to make it interesting. Now we got a little something else closer to what the last mix is gonna, or the first mix is gonna sound like. So now on my master bus, I use this plugin, which is for mastering. It's called the ARTG Mastering, and this is by Waves. It's a great plugin. It's I mean, these are the only ones that I have. I bought the Waves bundle and this one. But this creates a curve EQ, a mid scoop EQ, that it's really nice. Like, it fattens this stuff at the bottom. It thins out the cardboard frequencies. The only downside to it is it enhances the brights too much. So I always end up turning it down with the EQ right here. So yeah, I always end up turning it down.
It's just another day. Picture on a wall, still fading in a gray. Isolate and pray. It's so fucking safe, repeating same old cliche.
Searching a pill and need to forget. I'm draining my body with every regret just to get a drug to keep myself functioning.
Sorry, the mastering should go before the limiter. That was my mistake.
It's just another day. Picture on a wall, still fading in a gray. Isolate and pray. It's so fucking safe, repeating same old cliche.
Searching a pill and need to forget. I'm draining my body with every regret just
See that reverb? It just thins out things. This one.
It's just another day.
So if I take it off, I'm just gonna leave it off, bro. Like this doesn't work.
It's another day. Picture on a wall, still fading in a gray. Isolate and pray. It's so fucking safe, repeating same old cliche.
Okay, now this vocal is too low, right?
It's just another day. Picture on a wall, still fading in a gray. Isolate and pray. It feels so fucking safe, repeating same old cliche.
So now what I'm gonna do with this one, it's get rid of the S-ing, because it's too much.
It feels so fucking safe, repeating same old cliche.
And we're gonna boost it to that volume right there.
It feels so fucking safe, repeating same old cliche.
searching a pill and need.
It feels so fucking safe, repeating same old cliche.
And we're gonna create an echo with the reverb. No reverb, just early reflections.
It feels so fucking safe, repeating same old cliche.
Excuse me.
It feels so fucking safe, repeating same old cliche. It feels so fucking safe, repeating same old cliche. It feels so fucking safe, repeating same old cliche.
Little reverb.
It feels so fucking safe, repeating same old cliche. It feels so fucking safe, repeating same old cliche.
Something like that. Just to create a change in the texture of the song, of the track.
It feels so fucking safe, repeating same old cliche.
Searching a pill and need to forget. I'm draining my body with every regret just to get a drug to keep
More cymbals.
From every mental disruption. From responsibilities created by the ones who try to keep me by the chains. Never in control, just like before. Give me another dose of poison in my veins. Where is the answer to my prayer?
The vocals are sounding good.
Road that leads nowhere. Taking leap of faith to find despair. Getting forgiveness not for me. Bury these ashes, let it be. I'm a prisoner of my own fear.
That's too loud.
Lost in silence long ago.
What happened there? What happened? What's going on there? Whoa, what happened?
Lost in silence long ago. Lost in silence long.
What is this?
Feeling heat in a hell. Lost in silence long ago. Feeling heat in.
What is this?
It feels so fucking safe repeating same old
Ah,
cliche.
so it's that track. It's on the same track as this one.
Lost in silence long ago. Lost in silence long ago. Feeling heat in it.
Okay, then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna split this section right here. Split. And I'm gonna bring down the volume like so.
Lost in silence long ago. Feeling
That long.
lost in silence long ago. Feeling lost in silence long ago. Feeling heat in a hell below. Lost in silence long ago. Feeling heat.
So this sounds even,
hell below.
but I think it's there's another track there. Is it this one?
Lost in silence long ago.
Yeah, it's this one. Oh, I created this track on the previous version. Let me mute this one. I created it because that phrasing is so soft.
Lost in silence long ago. Feeling heat.
So maybe we will need it. It's the same. It's one of the same tracks from this section, but
Lost in silence long ago.
that lust in silence. It's really soft. So I created another track just to support that.
Lost in silence long ago.
Something like that. But it needs an EQ just to enhance the 3K range.
Lost in silence long ago. Lost in silence long ago. Lost in silence long ago.
Right, so without it,
Lost in silence long ago.
with it,
Lost in silence long ago.
it's just a little bit more of a pronounced section for that part of the song because I know the phrasing in that is too soft.
Lost in silence long ago.
Now that's better. Oh, apparently not. I'm gonna have to split it here too.
Lost in silence long ago. Feeling heat in hell below. At the seat of that. Lost in silence long
There we go.
ago. Feeling heat in hell below. At the seat of that can grow. The only thing I'll ever know. So drive me down with the flames. Is that my only?
I don't like that snare. That snare sounds like it needs something else. What if I do a saturator on here? Let me see. Mono before the reverb.
To find despair, getting forgiveness not for me. Bury these ashes.
A little bit more of a snap. He has a little more snap with this.
Down with the flames, is that my only comfort? To stay quiet for help.
I don't like that this is clipping, so I'm just gonna add a limiter to the drums. And it's just gonna keep any dBs from going over the 0 threshold. So.
Down with the flames, is that my only comfort? To stay quiet for help and simulating effort. Living not.
Okay, another thing that I do is I listen to it in mono, just to make sure my center, since I'm on headphones, just to make sure my center is solid and the vocals are a little bit louder than everything else. As you can see, the drums are so prominent in mono. However, the vocals should always be slightly louder in mono than the drums or the bass.
Searching ability to forget. I'm training my body with
This sounds good right now.
just to get a track to keep myself functioning.
It almost sounds like the voices are a little bit lower than the drums, but it works.
To run away from every mental disruption. From responsibilities created by the one.
For sure, the screaming needs a little bit more.
Never in control. Just like before, give me another dose of poison in my veins. Where is the answer to my prayer?
That one's fine.
Hope that it's no.
Notice how the snare, it's like really prominent. But with the rest of the mix, it's not. That's okay, because not everything's gonna be in mono. You double check mono just to make sure your balances aren't off the charts.
It's long ago, feeling heat in heaven. Let the seed of anger grow. The only
I think that works.
I'll ever know. So drive me down with the flames. Is that
One thing to remember as well, like if you have tracks on the vocals pan left and right, when you press mono, when you listen to the mix in mono, those tracks are going to be weaker sounding. So as long as you don't have super low vocals when you're listening to it in mono, you should be fine, because once you put it in stereo, everything gets louder as far as left and right tracks go.
so drive me down with the flames. Is that my only comfort? To stay quiet for help and simulating effort. Living not best behind.
If anything, we could probably lower the snare a little bit. Just a little bit. Something like that. But it sounds good. You can hear the guitar, you can hear the bass, hear the drums. Maybe that vocals need more. be more breathy stuff.
Let the seed of anger grow. The only thing I'll ever know. I'm a prisoner.
And you know what? In that section, I want to boost the guitars. So we're gonna go to the guitars right here. So we're gonna split and split. And we're gonna split here. And these two, I'm gonna just boost them up for like a dB or two, just to create a little more a movement. You know what? My compressor is doing something to it. So let's go to the compressor. Yeah, I'm gonna take off the compressor. It's not doing much anyways. Yeah, the compressor's not doing much. Anyways, here's the change.
Prisoner.
I noticed that these are clipping, so I'm gonna do a limiter as well, just to keep the meters from clipping.
Prisoner.
That's it. Okay, maybe it's a little too much. Maybe I'm just gonna boost 1.3 dBs on each. 1.2 dBs.
Prisoner.
And after that,
Where is the answer to my prayer? Still on a road that leads nowhere. Taking
you know what? We're just gonna boost throughout the whole thing right here.
answer to my prayer. Still on a road that leads nowhere. Bury these at my eyes. Where is the answer to my prayer? Still on a road.
That sounds lonely.
Where is the answer to my prayer? I'm still on.
That sounds like a lonely vocal right there. So what I'm gonna do,
Where is the answer to my prayer? I'm still. Where is the answer to my prayer?
I'm gonna split and I'm gonna boost this right here because it sounds weak.
Where is the answer to my prayer? Still on. Where is the answer to my? Where is the answer to my prayer? Still on a road
That sounds better.
that leads-
That sounds better. Okay,
Where is the
let's go back and let's hear what everything sounds like. Uninterrupted, let's just check it.
It's just another day. Picture on a wall, still fading to gray. Isolate and pray. To feel so fucking safe, repeating same old cliche.
searching ability to forget? I'm draining my body with every regret just to get a drug to keep myself function, to run away from every mental disruption. From responsibilities created by the ones who long ago. Feeling heat in hell below. Let the seed of anger grow. The only thing I'll ever know. So drag me down with the flames. Is that my only comfort? To stay crying for help and simulating effort. Leaving nightmares behind. Stop being so blind. Erase out planet that took over my mind. Where is the answer to my prayer? I'm still on a road that
I feel like the
leads
explosions are a little too loud.
Taking leap of faith to find despair. Getting forgiveness not for me. Bury these ashes, let it be. I'm a prisoner of my own fear. Feeling heat in hell below. Let the seed of anger grow. The only thing I'll ever know. I'm a prisoner. Prisoner.
I moved the delay a little bit and I made it louder.
Prisoner.
I could even make it louder. Hold on.
Prisoner. Prisoner.
Also, I want that.
Prisoner.
I'm gonna put reverb on this thing just to make it more impactful and more, with more ambience on it. Without it. And with it. Probably a bigger tail. Yeah. Maybe a little too much. That was a little too much. Okay, that's better.
The answer to my prayer. I'm still on a road that leads nowhere. Taking leap of faith to find despair. Getting forgiveness not for me. Bury these ashes, let it be. I'm a prisoner of my own fear.
And we're good. I think that qualifies as a good starting position. Now I'm gonna bounce it into an MP3 and we're gonna reproduce, and I'll add it at the end of the video so that you hear the MP3 track in a better quality, because I know the OBS recording, it's probably not recording in not optimal audio quality, so maybe it sounds a little funky, but the bigger picture is there. So yeah, hopefully this recording it works now and I don't have to redo it, because it's gonna suck. Like, it really is gonna suck if I had to redo it. Alright, man, hope this helps, and hopefully I gave you good tips, good insight on a few things. and may this help you with your mixing skills. Have a great day, my friend.
It's just another day. Picture on a wall, still fading to gray. Isolate and pray to feel so fucking safe, repeating same old cliche.
Searching a ability to forget. I'm draining my body with every regret just to get a drug to keep myself function, to run away from every mental disruption. Wrong responsibilities created by the ones who try to keep me by the chains. Never in control, just like before, give me another dose of poison in my veins. Where is the answer to my prayer? I'm still on a road that leads nowhere, taking leap of faith to find despair. Getting forgiveness not for me. Bury these ashes, let it be. I'm a prisoner of my own fear. Lost in silence long ago, feeling heat in hell below. Let the seed of anger grow, the only thing I'll ever know. So drive me down with the flames, is that my only comfort? To stay crying for help and simulating effort, leaving nightmares behind. Stop being so blind, erase the pain that took over my mind. Where is the answer to my prayer? I'm still on a road that leads nowhere, taking leap of faith to find despair. Getting forgiveness not for me. Bury these ashes, let it be. I'm a prisoner of my own fear.
Feeling heat in hell below. Let the seed of anger grow. The only thing I'll ever know. I'm a prisoner.
Forgotten from deep inside, broken. Worship the pride that got running. Never in control, just like before. Give me another dose of poison in my veins. Where is the answer to my prayer? I'm still on a road that leads nowhere, taking leap of faith to find